Welcome back, guys, to Watch Cringe, episode 15. Welcome back. My name's Brendan.
My name's Jay, and today we are joined by two people. Technically three if we include Tito, the intern.
We have Raph and Markus from Formex.
Raph.
Guys, why don't you say hi? Introduce yourselves.
Hey, I'm Raph from Formex, as you just mentioned. Thank you very much.
I guess I stole your thunder, huh?
Yeah, sorry. So I can't do better.
I'm also from Formex.
So,
hold on. Before you move on. So Raph is the CEO of Formex. For you guys that didn't know. How about you, Markus? Go ahead. Because I run
pretty much the marketing side of things. I'm the US rep. I'm based in
That's it.
Texas.
Yep.
So kind of the outpost of Formex in the US here.
There you go,
right.
guys.
So, first question. Are we taking the Formex podcast virginity, or have you guys slept around already on us?
Yeah,
I mean, Rafi slept around quite a bit, to be honest.
Well, because I thought you guys said we were going to be the
I thought it was exclusive.
I thought we were the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, Markus usually doesn't get to mingle that much. I don't know why. But yeah, I've done a couple. Not too many, though.
We heard Love and Watches podcast took your podcast virginity.
Did they?
And I heard
think so,
I heard
yeah.
they had nicknames though, like Ranch Racer and Perpetual Girl. It sounds pretty cool.
I got one for you. Big dumbass.
That's my nickname. We need nicknames, dude. If we're gonna make it.
Give me one.
The Big Cheese.
Why the big cheese? Fart in your truck.
Yeah, pretty much. So thanks for coming down. We're actually recording this back at
The
my
studio,
office,
so
aka
the
my
audio
house,
should sound
like shit
like
again,
shit again.
where it should be.
Actually, so what do you guys think of the neighborhood?
Do you guys feel safe?
We're told this is a rough side of town, but I feel pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
No, I feel good. I'm packing, so.
Because
What did you see on the corner of the street?
what did you see on the corner of the street so far?
It was
like a couple of years ago at the end of my street, there was a kid that was shot. So I was wondering if you guys want to go knock on his door and see if he's okay right now.
we're good.
Yeah.
No, you good?
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right,
on the way here, we saw some D-boys just slanging a little bit outside.
Little rock?
Yeah, little rock.
Yeah,
Little rock
man.
here and there.
So let's ask some real questions. What makes Formex stick out from the sea of other watch brands in the world?
We're kind of like a micro brand in many things, but then in the engineering power, we're a bit
Out.
yeah, we have more means than the average micro brands, and by means I don't mean money, because we don't have that. But like we have a nice engineering department that also works for other brands and for my family's company. So we can put a bit more manpower into engineering and actually coming up with our own solutions to problems that people didn't even know they had.
That's the best kind of problem.
Yeah.
The ones you didn't know you had.
So you would say you guys are basically sitting behind your engineering mostly, and your vision with like bringing new technology.
We're still small, so a lot of the people working for us are doing a lot of or many different things.
A lot of hats.
Yeah, so you kind of have to be a jack of all trades working for us at the moment, but we're slowly working on building nice teams around different aspects of the business.
That's cool. Actually, before we forgot again, we always forget it though. Wrist check.
Oh, wrist check. Okay.
All right. So what are you wearing, Bren?
Me, I'm always first for some reason. I'm just wearing the Cherry Blossom Grand Seiko.
Oh, that's cool.
SPGA
Right?
413.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dang, is that
course-
strap $20?
Yeah, it's a $20 strap.
Yeah, I can tell.
Look at the neighborhood I live in. What do you think I'm going to buy?
That's right. So I'm wearing the Oris Pro Pilot X as the PPX. I forgot to change watches today. How about y'all? What are you guys wearing? I wanted to talk about what Raph's wearing, but we'll go with Markus first.
So I'm wearing green Formex Reef. Those are the ones with the interchangeable bezels, so you can just flip them off and put a new one on it.
Yep.
Pretty much like it. It's nice on my wrist. Has some features to, make it more comfortable on the wrist after eating a brisket or something. You can just extend it. Pretty handy here in Austin.
Yeah.
Are those sold out on the website too? Because I know you guys have a lot of sold out.
They're not. They're actually
They're
available.
still available.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's surprising, honestly.
Yeah, that is very surprising.
Considering how fast that field watch fucking sold
Yeah,
out.
we were looking at it and we're like, should we get it? Let's think about it tomorrow.
The purple one.
Gone.
We only had 2 in stock of each.
Of each.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Oh, just teasing us, Jay. Teasing us. Keep up with it.
How about you, Raph? What are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Essence Leggera. So we just dropped that at the show in San Francisco where we met up with you guys last week. It's got a forged carbon dial and a case made out of carbon fiber composite and ceramic bezel and crown.
Very sporty.
It's insanely light. Just
Yeah, you can imagine how light that is just based on the materials.
honestly, I think if you take out the straps, you wouldn't even realize that there's a watch there.
We went to shoot some golf balls the other day,
I
and
saw
I forgot to put on the Leggera. I was actually wearing the reef, and I actually could feel the
It was weight.
weight,
the weight. I don't know if it helped or.
Dude has a nasty driver form.
I can tell you, I haven't, I've heard that before, that people who bought the first generation Leggera actually use it to play golf. Just
Yeah, a
because
lot of
that.
customers told us this.
Really?
It's the only watch they wear for
Yeah.
golfing. Yeah.
That's kind of
wow.
badass. Isn't that scary though a little bit? Because like, what if that shit like the hands fall out, right?
No,
'Cause
they
of
don't.
the-
They shouldn't.
And there you go.
It's
Uh,
official. If you hurt your watch golfing, we'll cover it on the guarantee.
Ooh, what an
Ooh.
announcement.
Here.
Okay.
So another thing that we think makes you guys stick out is the customer being available for your community. I mean, just throwing the party when we were out to wind up. You guys threw a party out there. You're
Yes.
throwing a party here in Austin tonight. Coming out to this decrepit neighborhood
So,
to talk
yeah.
with us.
I wonder, like, do you guys travel a lot, like, to meet with the small watch community, like collector groups? Like, whose idea was that, and is that actually important to y'all?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, actually, shout out to everyone we met during that little road trip down south and then back up towards San Francisco. Yeah, we don't do many of them, especially during the past 3 years. It wasn't really possible, but actually just before Corona hit, we planned out to do road shows in the US and in Germany.
Oh, so it was already planned.
Yeah, it was planned. Yeah.
Well, even when we're in here, I see, Raph, you're responding to people on DM. Like, is it always difficult to maintain this always accessible kind of profile to your brand? Because I feel like you guys are really accessible for the community.
The whole team kind of shares also the DM. We're using a software called Gorgeous for customer service, and honestly, I don't want to plug anything really necessarily, but I really like that because it took
Gorgeous, if you're listening, we need a discount.
yeah, Gorgeous guys. Yeah. No, it really centralizes our whole customer reach out experience, and we can just send around the tickets. If somebody something concerns Markus or me or the other people in the team, we can just swap them around, and it doesn't matter whether it's from Facebook DMs, IG DMs, or if it's an email request, it all comes through there. So that really helps us do that. But then obviously we also encourage our customers with our order confirmation or shipping confirmation email. We tell them, please send us an email what you think about the watch and what you like us to do better next time, or about the experience. And a lot of people actually do. So we kind of stuck in having to answer them now. No, but I think it's really is our finger on the pulse of what our customers want. So it would be stupid of us not to interact with the people who actually spend their money on our watches.
Plus, there's several things on the watch I'm wearing that are based on customer feedback. Like the first generation Reef, for example, was a 60-click, didn't have the interchangeable option. Feedback was, hey, we want 120. We did that, and somehow you just came up with an interchangeable bezel. How did that work?
The
by the way?
modular shit.
Yeah, actually, from the first version to this one, the only major feedback we got was from the 60 clicks, as Markus said, and the bezel action. So we improved that, tweaked the bezel a little bit, and while we were doing that, I remember that people during the pre-order process couldn't make up their mind which bezel they would put on, because there's an actual configurator on the website. And
you have an app too, right? That shows how.
Not anymore. It's down at the moment. We're working on a new one now. Yeah.
New and improved.
They had a fucking
definitely.
app.
Yeah, they had an app.
What?
Yep.
We had an app where you could put on like a strap. Remember from your childhood the
the
straps you could slap
rubber.
on?
Yeah.
And there was a target on there, and when you pointed your camera with our app on that,
it's
you
like
would actually
AR.
see the watch on.
It's
AR.
augmented reality.
And that was way back before. We got inspired by an Australian guy who did this for fashion watches. We kind of worked out the idea for us, and now kind of everybody is trying to use AR.
Yeah.
But it's really hard to make them look as nice as they look in real life. Almost impossible. So yeah, it's hard.
Raph, with you being single,
All right.
Do
What's
you
going on?
guys have a Formex official Tinder account, or do you use your own? How has the profiles been for Austinites compared to other cities?
I don't think you
Don't.
need Tinder in Austin.
Yeah.
From
well,
the 2 nights that we
whoa,
spent here.
Marcus.
Ah,
Damn, boy.
maybe I'm gonna cut that one up because I'm not sure if my wife is listening. But
She probably isn't, though. Like, you're
But yeah,
safe.
what do you think, man? What do you think of the chicks here in Austin compared to
I've noticed a lot of them, actually. I was just asking Marcus, getting out of the hotel this morning, is there like a disbalance in female versus males?
the
in-
ratio?
in-
You think there's more chicks here than dudes?
I don't know. I just keep seeing much more than in California.
We'll have to do some research and get back.
You
to
can do
y'all.
some research.
I'm gonna go
What the
around.
fuck is your research? Go
I'm
around
gonna
the
go around
bars?
and count every single person in the city.
No, we don't actually do Tinder that much. So we just try to attract the female gender by wearing loomed shirts and charging
How was that going for you?
charging up our loom on the wrist.
So, how about your main collector audience? How would you describe who they are? Your core customer group.
Yeah, you know what? I'm curious because, like, let's say with like Paddock, right? It's mostly either trust fund babies. So let's say trust fund babies are with Paddock. With Rolex, it's like dudes in their middle age
Middle-aged
dudes
class,
like finally getting a Rolex. What is y'all like? What is your, let's say, what's your core audience for Formex, right?
I guess it's very diverse because you also have some of the trust fund babies that you don't necessarily, they don't out themselves as that when they walk up to you
That's
or
right.
at a booth at a show or whatever. So you don't really know. But we did some surveys in our own community, and they're actually very mixed. So we kind of got to that by asking them what kind of other watches they had in their collection, and a lot of them had really expensive ones. And then there's other collectors that focus on micro brands and don't have a huge budget, but they find something with us as well. So it's very diverse. But I would say we've taken down from before we arrived at Formex, Marcus and I'd say we've taken down the average age of our collectors a little bit.
So I always wondered, like, yeah, what's the target audience for y'all? Because you guys aren't
Everyone, I think, is what.
I think in terms of age, we don't really have something we define specifically, but most people who hear about us are already pretty far down the rabbit hole. I would say most
see.
of them
At the moment, yes.
at the moment. But YouTube reviews and stuff like this helps a lot getting the word out, and also people who are just finding their first or second mechanical watch probably hear about us in YouTube and podcasts and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so
I think somebody should feed the dog.
you guys
this.
probably don't hear this because the mics that we got, we actually have good mics.
They actually are good. That's the one good.
That's
thing
the
we have
one
in
good
this
thing.
house.
We spent money on the mics.
A lot of money. Yeah.
But
That's why
there
we're
are-
drinking Tecate right now.
That's right. So yeah, hey, drink check. Also, another fucking person just walked into the studio.
we got another guy. So
Hey, Saul is back.
Hey, Saul.
So
He's
we
back.
have two dogs in Brendan's bedroom that are wanting to get out,
yeah, they're scratching through that
scratching
door.
through the door.
That thing is probably fucked up.
So with you guys kind of specifying your customer base, are there any customers that you guys truly cherish? Are there any that you wish weren't fucking customers? You can tell us.
You like any customer, obviously, because they
give
make
you
us
money.
tick,
They give you money,
as
yeah.
you say, yeah. And no, but since we have a very direct exchange, and a lot of the customer requests, or if there's a complaint, if there's something wrong, they end up with me or Marcus, and as long as they're friendly and respectful, we we also give that back. But as some customers tend to get very emotional or excited when something went wrong, which we also understand if something goes wrong. But as soon as they stopped being polite
Divas.
or respectful,
Once they
we
start-
we
when the
actually
when
tell
the
them.
diva comes out.
I actually say in an email, there's no need to be disrespectful.
Oh.
We'll try to find a solution together. That's
like
where we're
that.
talking, right?
So you tell them there's no need to be nasty.
there
Yeah,
isn't
it's not
really.
even
There
that.
isn't
No,
really.
well,
It's just a
Absolutely not.
watch, man.
But I think that's what
Calm
people
down.
like usually forget, right? It's just a watch, bro.
They forget that there's a human that they're talking to.
Yeah, and they're not,
That is
talking
right. I
face to
mean,
face. So
especially because you have an interaction on DM or live chat. You kind of think it's maybe a robot on the other side, but it's not.
It's a human
It's
with,
a dude,
with
man.
feelings. They're not a number, guys.
Exactly.
Guys,
They're not a
they're not
number.
just another statistic.
Yeah. Let's switch the subjects to the company profile. I think Jay,
I have
you
one
pulled
for
up some
y'all.
deep research on this. one.
So, I don't know if you guys knew this, but there is another Formex company. They're a leading contract development and manufacturing organization that focuses on oral and topical dosage forms, but they have awful reviews on Glassdoor. Let's say like they have a 2.9 star
Out of 5.
out of 5 and 39% recommendation rate. Do you have any advice for that company considering you are the much better and superior Formex?
It's actually the same company.
we're the watch club. Please help us. Help us.
They're the fucking like they make the ointments.
Help
for
us.
your
They're
asshole.
horrible. They're horrible. They make us do this. Like drive out here and talk to you guys.
You go. What's your advice? How do they not suck?
How do they not suck? What do you got? How did you
How
become such a
how
great
you guys are
Formex?
such a good? How were you the good?
Okay,
Formex?
so
Yeah.
we're probably easier to handle because we're still small. We're a small team, and
These guys are also small, by the way.
Oh,
really.
Yeah, they're tiny. Like
What were some of the comments that you're reading?
a lot of the reviews that said was like
Mismanagement.
mismanagement, CEO.
Yeah, so I
participation
think
isn't there.
you need to change the guy
So
at
do you
the
want
top. If you can,
Do you want to take over that too then?
take
No,
down
I
their
don't think so.
Formex
No,
because
no,
you already
I
took
don't-
over this one.
yeah,
Yeah,
I don't
you
know
did take over this one,
know
didn't
anything
you?
about oral dosing of whatever it
Oral
is they're doing.
dosing.
So I'll stick with watches for now.
Okay.
I think there's a concrete company called Formex as
Yeah.
well. There's many times when I search for Formex, it also appears
That shows up too?
chicken coop.
A chicken
coop.
coop called
Chicken
Yeah, there's
Formex.
many Formexes, but our Formex
Yeah.
is actually a combination of the two words forme extreme,
Yeah.
two French words.
That's
and
probably
it
also
means
the same for the chicken scoop.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I
no,
don't
it's from the the old time Formexes, or they were a bit more bulky, chunky, had crazy shapes, and so that's where this name actually comes from.
Oh, today
Yeah,
I
a lot of
learned.
names are actually a lot of people are actually shitting on our name a lot. So it got better since we changed the logo. But
The
yeah, we
logo's
don't.
cool.
Yeah, we're not gonna change the name for now. So if you don't like the name, then
Get
you're
bent.
gonna have to wait
Get
until we
bent.
make a watch that you like enough to ignore the name.
Get bent, dude. I think the name is good.
I
to be
like
honest
the
with
name.
you. I like it.
It's
It rolls
quick,
off the
it's
tongue.
catchy. Yeah. So we read in a news article, and I had to translate it because this was not in English, but we heard that you guys are moving into a new building together with Dexel SA, which, Raph, I believe that's your father's company.
Yes.
Can you explain to us the relationship to Dexel? I would imagine, are the Formex parts made by Dexel, or how does that whole situation work?
First of all, what language was that article in?
Not English. That's all I know.
Yeah, they were dumb Americans, baby.
Yeah. Was that completely off?
But yeah, some people dig out that information about me. So yeah, that's actually where I got started into the watch industry. So he founded a company about 30 that supplied. Well, actually, they did technical development, design, and manufacturing for different watch brands, and they grew slowly. So now they make watch cases, bracelets. Certain buckle systems that
Dexel's
we
big
also
dick.
worked on.
Yeah, Dexel's
And-
huge.
And
I saw a Hugh Blow case on their website.
I mean, it's on the website.
Yeah, it's on their website.
I don't know.
Keep it quiet.
So the relationship really as entities, there is none. Like we're completely independent.
Completely separate
Yeah,
then. Okay.
both separate and independent. And in terms of what interaction we have with them is actually what I mentioned before, which might have sounded a bit weird when I introduced it.
We get invited.
We got engineering power.
We get
No,
invited to the company party too. To the Christmas
also,
party.
Yeah, actually, that's the only link. We get invited to their company Christmas party. Which,
So separate, completely separate.
no, it's separate, but we use their. So I'm also active in that company, a little bit, not too much, because Formex is taking up a lot of my time. But I'm basically responsible also for their engineering and design department,
Oh,
like
shit.
for the product development, really. And so we have a team of engineers and designers, which they're both like
Mhm.
one guy, two
Oh, I
hats,
see, I see
kind
what
of. So
you
when we set out to design something, we have regular design meetings about new projects for Formex, and they all have their own take, and then we like always decide together kind of which one is better of the propositions they brought. So when we design, we already have the engineering in the head, so we already have probably a base case that we want to work around, or we already know when somebody suggests, hey, let's make the log like that, and then everybody immediately objects and says, no, but we can't get there with the milling tool, and so like that knowledge is already there when designing it, which is very helpful and for us to make things a bit quicker. And then I got my whole experience and my supplier connections from that company, so that's the link, but it's not very tangible. So, and it's not an official link, they're not sister companies.
Gotcha.
And we're actually going to be renting the space there when we move there.
So
we're actually going to move there right when I get back.
Okay, so you're moving there. You're renting it, but you guys it's completely still independent. You're just sharing the space, kind of.
But when we need to use their machining department to pump out prototypes, so it's really helpful.
So
hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to know. So I know that you guys also have the patents for the suspension system and that was from 1999.
So fucking cool.
Which is super fun to play with.
Let me open my beer too, dude.
Yeah.
Second beer.
Does Formex hold any other patents besides the suspension?
So actually, Formex has the patent for the suspension, and cheers, guys.
Thrown off. He's like trying to answer a question. There's like 50 Tecate bottles just popping
like
off.
People spraying beer around in here. It's crazy. You guys should see that.
So the question was, besides the case suspension.
So the patent we have at Formex is actually the suspension case, and since the other solutions we come up with, like the quick release and the micro adjustment on the deploying class, is something that we worked on together, but Dexel engineers actually, then hash it out and register or file for the patent. So the patent then belongs to Dexel, and they also use it. This way they can use it on other brands.
Right. You guys are kind of leading the vision, and then they'll, Dexel will just kind of like share off that idea.
It's kind of a symbiotic relationship, really, because then they use that. We maybe launched something, or there's a new system that my dad says, hey, let's try that on one of the Formex watches. It's the same as, that's actually the reason why we came out with the Essence Leggera. Segue alert. He actually posed the challenge. I wanted to make a black version of the Essence, but we didn't necessarily want to use PVD or DLC coatings, so I wanted to use materials that are inherently black, and so when you scratch them, there's not going to be any metal. You don't have to detreat and retreat it. And
it's actually really good.
And he posed the challenge to actually use that material on a case, because Dexel had just developed this carbon microfiber composite that we use on the case, and he kind of posed the challenge to make a model with that. Yeah, now we're stuck with them and have to sell them. No, they're actually they turn out pretty cool, if I may say so.
It's really cool.
I really love wearing them, yeah.
And what you said about the finishing rubbing off and having it all black throughout, that is like huge.
It's never going to change.
That's why I want to buy a black watch, because it would rub off and look nasty.
Yep.
And then,
plus,
this one
the most exposed part, which tends to be the bezel, is made from black ceramic, so you're not going to scratch that either.
Really high-end parts, to be honest.
I mean, for what it is, like, I actually am super sold on that thing.
Yeah,
the gear, like the 39, I think, right? You guys are making 39,
41, and
41.
43.
So the reason, the reason behind that was we didn't want to make it too tiny, because 39 already looks. That's the thing with our models; they all kind of wear a bit smaller than
it does.
Than it says on the paper, which is
bezel,
quite the challenge when you're mainly selling online, because people say, "Oh no, 43 is too big."
Like too
oh
big.
no, 41 is. You should make that.
Which is why you guys came up with the app, and then.
Yeah.
So actually, I was curious. So what made you want to own your own company rather than like being like just an exec and like just sitting at Dexel, right?
Yeah. So one of the founders of Formex, it was founded in 1999. He was working with us, with Dexel, for a couple of years. From projects as well, not related to Formex. He's been asking us for a couple of years if nobody wants to take over the brand, because he was doing other projects and the brand was kind of, like dormant. And so, yeah, I discussed
an opportunity in there, huh?
Yeah, I did, but also wasn't, I saw the opportunity, but also saw part of the challenge that it was.
why Formex in 2015? Why not Timex or Rolex?
Why not Catarex? Why not Hendrix? Why not Vostok? You know, fuck it. Why not just go for the Swatch Group?
They were not available for sale, I guess.
Yeah, mainly that. And also, they wouldn't have been such a big challenge, you know. So such a big.
So you
bone
like
to-
challenges?
It's already grown, right? And so yeah, that makes sense.
I like that. So another thing that collectors are kind of crazy about recently are collaborations. You guys haven't done any, or at least not that I at least saw online.
We did one with a divers watch group on Facebook.
Oh, DW, yeah. Okay, so I guess that one I missed. But do you guys see yourselves joining into that trend and going into more collaborations just for the like? I personally am not a fan of it, but do you guys see yourselves going into the hype?
Would you like to do a collaboration with us?
Yeah, dude.
Jay?
Yeah, let's ruin your brand.
Yeah, we're in the middle of talking with Four Loko and Fleshlight right now, aren't we?
Yeah. Shout out.
Sorry, we already did an orange watch now.
So
You have to change your color.
that's funny. So actually, who would be, if you guys were to do one, right? Who would be your dream collaboration, and who would you guys want to work with in a
Do you have a list?
situation like that? No list. Just raw dog it, right?
Anyone?
Anyone. Like
Actually,
example for us, we want Four Loko and Fleshlight.
Yeah.
That's the only sponsors we honestly want. It's the only collaboration we want. It's not maybe.
Well, and if Formex actually wants to do it.
But yeah, who do you guys want to work with? That's like, Hublot worked with Orlinsky,
DJ Snake.
DJ Snake.
I mean, I'm not against collabs. They always take up a bit of time for a small or for a limited number of pieces, but then they also create buzz sometimes if they're good enough. So if I have a dream partner for a collab, I'm certainly not going to talk about it here.
That's right.
Sorry, guys. It
Smart
hasn't.
man.
He's smart. He's smart. We would have dragged him down.
No, but I actually have one that I really would like to, but I don't know yet.
Okay.
He's not your typical celebrity or
It's
something.
Steve Aoki.
Absolutely.
It's actually
No, it's not,
Matty
it's
on.
not. It's not. Yeah, definitely collabs. A good thing if they make sense. Like, if I'm just gonna put your name on the dial
if
for
they add
nothing.
value to the watch, right?
We're also
Real value.
looking to connect communities to make these collabs. So the one we did with divers watches, kind of. They maybe already knew a little bit about us, but it brought the two entities closer, and I think it's
that relationship. Nice. So tell me what it was like for Formex when the success started flowing, the moment when you guys realized that Formex was making you guys gods, and that you thought to yourself, fuck everyone, even my friends and family, I'm a fucking god.
Yeah. So
When
Marcus
did
and I,
that point happen?
Yeah. So Marcus and I immediately rented a private jet and flew to Vegas.
PJ, baby.
Yeah, obviously.
That's the way to do it. And then you wasted all of your riches in Vegas.
Yeah,
Hey.
exactly.
$1 million on green, baby.
No, I think we could say the first year that was really, or where we could see that it was going somewhere, really, was
With the essence.
19 or 20.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, we brought that the essence, but it was still hard to sell, pieces, because nobody knew us, and it is kind of a watch that you have to handle to appreciate all of its features and everything, and the finishing. So it's a challenge to come out there as a relatively new brand. I mean, when we took over, Formex was on a classic distribution kind of business model. So when I started, I kind of reached out to the existing networks, which weren't that many anymore, and I just figured out that it's going to be too tough for me. I'm coming from the product development side of things in the watch industry, so I had zero contacts to distribution companies on how to place the product and open doors. So I decided, actually inspired by Christopher Ward, actually.
Really?
Because shout out to
By Chris
Jörg
Ward.
and the team. Shout out to Mike, who we met in San Francisco for the first time. Really cool people. I mean, Jörg, their head of product, is a longtime friend in Biel. We actually,
Really?
the two offices and ateliers are walking. He walks his dog and comes to
That's
say hi
fucking
to
sick.
Formex.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hey,
What a
again,
neighborhood.
also, I'm sorry, Chris Ward. We couldn't go on the third day.
Oh,
we
yeah.
missed
Sorry about
the
Are you
interview.
that kind of podcast? Like, saying when you're going to show up and then you don't?
No. We were waiting on him on Saturday. but they were too busy or something.
They're
I don't know.
pretty busy.
What,
There
what
was
happened?
It was so funny. So we set up an interview with their CEO.
Yeah.
Not me. I wasn't gonna interview him. Brendan was gonna interview him. We're gonna have Tito
Tito.
interview him.
Oh, okay. Point
Tito
out the
knows
apprentice.
Chris Ward.
Put it on
brand.
the fucking intern.
Yeah, put it
So
on
he
the
was
intern. He's gotta
supposed to
step up.
interview him, but then I think we got drunk and like forgot about it. And then by the time we remembered, we were sober, and we were like, "Fuck."
Back in Austin.
We'll get him in Chicago.
We'll get him in Chicago.
Get him in Chicago.
Thank you, Chris Ward. And
yeah,
hey,
sorry guys.
yeah,
I didn't want to bring that up.
Raph really likes y'all apparently, and that means we really like y'all too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, that was the inspiration who kind of gave me like the push to say, let's go direct to
For
consumer.
the
We
business model,
can
yeah.
do that, yeah. And then that took a long time to actually, you're sitting there and not selling any watches online, and you're like trying to figure out how the whole
Yeah.
online advertising thing works. And yeah, a lot of trial and error.
I guess your family was already in the industry,
Yeah.
but did you always see yourself staying in the industry, or were you out of it and then you just jumped in later on?
I kind of worked in it since I was a kid, actually.
Really?
So like he'd take me with him on a school vacation. and
Prove
I
it.
could-
Make me a watch out of the Tecate bottle right now.
I could totally do that.
Stupid fuck.
Okay, it's a can. Sorry.
Thank you for the idea.
So yeah.
Is that our
so
next
you-
collab?
So always on and off, but then I went off to study college, where I met my wife, Markus.
Beautiful, beautiful couple. Beautiful couple.
Honestly, the sweetest couple I've ever met.
Yeah, sweetest couple.
No, we literally met there, and then I actually started working at the university and stayed there after my studies for a little bit. But then I went back, bought a Volkswagen van, went on a 3-month surf trip down the coast
Whoa.
of the Atlantic in
shit,
Europe.
dude.
Hence
Yeah,
the wreath. Huh?
yeah,
The model
yeah,
of the wreath.
exactly.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
No, and then when I came back, I knew I actually wanted to become active in the watch industry.
That's so interesting because I feel that most people who are born into a specific industry because of family lineage or something tends to not like being in whatever their parents were doing.
This because they didn't do the surf trip. You need to do some soul searching sometimes.
That's right. Soul searching, huh?
For me, I just met Rolf that one day during that surf trip, and that was probably enough for me to change my mind of going into watches, I guess.
We
That's-
fucking just
that's
bring
what
it back
happened.
to the surf. Do you guys ever think you can consider making your guys' own movements, or do you plan on staying
Salida with
Salida ETA?
your own
or-
decoration.
Funny you should mention that.
Oh,
No,
fuck.
actually, no, I'm kidding.
Okay,
Hold my
okay.
beer. Hold my beer. No, it's pretty tough to do, but it's definitely something that is, part of a dream. And a lot of smaller brands are doing it through like crowdfunding with a lot of success, and I think it's possible. But right now we're trying to build up the company, in the most logical way, kind
Uh-huh.
of. So, building out the collection to a way we have a customer base that is wide enough. And then, there's a time for that as well in our strategy. Other brands might do it before or later. But it's definitely a dream. Yeah, definitely bringing out something that is at least somewhat, not because of the exclusivity, because of having done it, really. Like, yeah.
No, I like that.
The engineering, the challenge of it.
Do you
yeah.
think you'll do like with you guys being a big fan of modularity? You guys want to make like a movement that you could modularly change with ETA and Salida movements, the parts and shit? Or does that make it not in-house anymore? if a
if you
balance
just
thing.
copy the architecture, then that would be a clone. But you could produce it in-house. I mean, that would be a challenge.
Yeah, it
I mean,
begs the question,
why
what
would
is
you do
it?
that?
But I mean, modularity, if you're going to invest in building a movement platform and you're small and you don't have a lot of capital, then modularity of that platform to add, a GMT module or, kind of like Horage is doing, if you guys don't know them. Shout out to Horage.
Shout out.
Shout out. I don't know who you are, but you sound cool.
Yeah, you should check them out, really. And so they have their in-house movement that they produce with manufacturing partners, parts themselves. They machine their own base plates and everything.
Yeah.
So it's possible. It's not part of our journey right now, but it's definitely something we have
And you
or
know,
eyes on sometimes.
I
or at some
believe
point.
that when Formex does make their own movement, it's gonna be true in-house, right? It's not gonna be like Tudor, where they call
Can you see-
Breitling movements
Oh,
Tudors.
Breitling? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because like their chronograph movement on their Tudor chronos are not theirs, but they say it's theirs. But it's just a BO1.
Okay.
Well, even like Norcane.
Still a
and all,
BO1.
they
Even
actually-
Norcane, too.
Kinesi does the movements for
Yeah.
Tudor,
Norcane-
Chanel, and Norcane.
It's not Norcane's movement. It's Kinesi's.
technically Kinesi.
It's not even
Technically.
Yeah, I
It
know.
is.
You know, we shouldn't get hung up on marketing speak versus what part is really. If it's kind of, if you commission it and somebody else produces it exclusively for you, you can definitely call it kind of in-house because it was your brainchild and everything, probably, in my understanding. And then if somebody else produces it for multiple brands and you call it in-house, that's fine. You can-
Vermont.
But yeah, a lot of brands also say, you know, like we could have done that. We could have used the SW200 and said it's FX 20 something. What's the point? It's a SW200, and actually it's better if
Dude,
people know that from the
SW200 is
start because
so
a lot of
good.
people trust in those movements.
It's a workhorse.
So it would be actually not very smart to change the name of something that people trust in.
Where do you guys see yourselves taking Formex in the next 10 years, right? Why do you see Watch Cringe with you guys as part of your R&D, and how much are we going to be getting paid? Go ahead.
And we also don't want to do a lick of work either. We just want to get paid.
That's right. Go ahead.
So next 10 years, going strong. Yes, R&D with Watch Cringe, and you're going to get paid a lot.
That's
yeah,
right.
You heard it here, folks.
No, okay, let's elaborate a little bit. So 10 years is pretty far down the line. I don't really have necessarily clear, number goals. As long as the company is like thriving, healthy, profitable, and creating a work environment that is not like Formex in Austin or where was it?
Wherever the office is.
Whatever that dental office was.
Wherever the...
Where
Whatever
everybody,
that Formex oral dentist was.
yeah, everybody comes in and has fun. I think I said that on a couple of occasions already. It's fun to see people working with you as a family kind of, and seeing especially that they're enjoying what they're doing and they're somehow also proud of what we're putting out. And I also get a lot of love back from our customers. They really do write emails that are just, making your day as you get in the office in the morning. So yeah, just keeping that up, then the quantities will grow automatically. And also never concede on the quality you already have. Like, never go back on that. You can only do better otherwise.
We do the other
It's
way.
not
We
gonna
always
work.
try to get worse.
We always-
Every
Yeah,
show.
but it's your thing, it's your
Yeah.
business model.
Yeah. So I'm curious. So like you say you have emails that are just really brighten up your day, make you happy, kind of getting into the office. How about the ones where it's like, fuck? You guys get any of those?
Oh, we got a couple of those though. More of the nice ones, but a couple of those.
Oh.
2.
I always thought it would be more of the nasty ones. No.
They're a good brand. So
No,
they get
no.
the
It's
good,
because
they
you guys
get
are
the
good. That's the reason.
That's the.
It's generally, we're lucky that they open up the box and they say it actually
Fuck, that's a
looks
good watch.
looks and feels better, way better than on the picture on the website.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be
Yeah.
like, I'm happy I made this purchase.
Yeah, man. So here's another one for y'all. Another
we want to talk about switching topics to materials. And
another
releases.
trend is like the sustainability bit, right? I honestly don't give a fuck.
Bioceramic.
That's it. The bioceramic
Bioceramic
swatch, like the Oris, like Save the Reef shit. Do you guys see yourselves working with sustainable materials? And would you guys ever use corn as a case?
I mean,
It's been done, man.
I mean-
Like corn composite is. I've actually held a case.
A corn composite
I've held a case in my hand.
made out
Actually,
of
no,
corn.
I can't say that. I'm sorry.
I mean the cheese was done already.
Yeah,
right?
the
cheese
yeah,
case
Moser
is
did
done,
the
yeah.
Swiss.
The cheese
the
was
Swiss
done.
cheese.
Yeah.
So would you guys ever do a sustainable shit?
Definitely. Like if it makes sense. I mean, a lot of people are working with the Tide stuff now. I think it makes sense to do that where you can really make an impact. But I think also a lot of it is a bit hyped. And in terms of materials, there's vegan leather, but it usually contains plastic. So what are you gonna pick? Are you gonna throw away the hides that they use for meat production? to produce more plastic,
Oh, that's
so that you
true.
can say that you're making.
You're
You know,
making a
most of
change.
them. I'm not saying all of them. I know that a lot of the vegan leather has some part of plastic, but not all of them, obviously.
You know, we actually, as humans, we eat, and this is actually true. You eat a credit card's worth size of microplastics a week on average.
Oh my god, here we fucking go.
Paid for by your credit card.
So
Thank you.
last question. Your field watch was a great release this year. You did something very special with that, right? You made the titanium harder from 143 Vickers to 900 Vickers. Do you have any advice for our listeners who struggle with getting hard?
Yeah, I wouldn't advise using the same method we use on the titanium. Probably.
Harden it.
Yeah, it might actually
They can get their Vicker count up that way.
burn your dick off.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so don't try it.
Okay. Well, you heard it here. Don't try the Vicker method. Jay, I think we're going to close it out with their sponsors and ASMR, right?
Yeah, so let me let's thank the sponsors. Thank you, the other Formex company, for sponsoring us with your 2.9 star review on Glassdoor.
Yep.
We're gonna work on that.
Yes, we are. Yes,
And
we are.
for ASMR, of course,
Let's take one of the Formexes
What
with
better
the-
than the Formex Reef?
Yeah.
And the Tecate. Don't
Hey,
forget.
yeah.
Don't forget to mention them.
Damn, my Vicker count just went up. All right, guys, take it easy.
Hey, we'll
see
take
you
it
in-
easy. Thanks, guys.
Thank you
Appreciate
guys for
y'all.
having
next
us. It was
episode.
fun.
Bye.
Thank you.